When a teenager suddenly becomes emotional, confused, sensitive, starts questioning who they are, we call it adolescence. We understand that their brain is changing, their hormones are changing, and their identity is changing. But when a woman becomes a mother and experiences many of the same things, we often expect her to return to work and act exactly like she did before. Psychologists have a name for this transition, and it is called Matrescence. And understanding it completely changed how I viewed myself as a mother and as a professional. So the term Materscence was originally developed by anthropologist and psychologist Dana Raffel, and has gained significant attention in recent years through the work of Alexandra Sachs. Materscence describes the physical, emotional, hormonal, psychological, and social transition into motherhood. Researchers often compare it to adolescence because both involve profound developmental change. So modern neuroscience has shown that pregnancy and early motherhood are associated with measurable brain changes. Some of these changes persist for years after birth. The emerging scientific view is not that mothers become less capable. Instead, the brain is reorganizing priorities, and this is how you should also see it, that your brain is reorganizing priorities. If you don't enjoy so much in your previous hobbies and in your previous project at work, chatting with your colleagues, specific type of colleagues, specific personalities, that it's something different now, that you have a different view of them, a different opinion, just know that this is normal because something is actually changing in your brain. I also found a nice hormone story, because most people know about the pregnancy hormones, and this is what we talk about a lot, but as I already many times say, that people are not talking about what is happening to mom after she gives a birth and when she has to go back to work, like what is happening in her behavior, what is happening with her identity. Something is changing and people are not talking about that enough. So let's see. Estrogen drops dramatically after delivery. Progesterone also drops dramatically after delivery. So we already have two big hormones that we are losing immediately, and we know the story about the hormones, how hormones can play with our life in general. Oxytocin often increases with breastfeeding and infant bonding. Prolactin supports milk production and caregiving behaviors. Cortisol, that's the stress one, can be elevated due to sleep disruptions and caregiving stress. The result is that many mothers feel like, I don't recognize myself anymore. And that is a very common Materscence experience. How does it exactly look like once when you are at workplace through the examples? So before your child, you volunteered for every possible project because you wanted to show yourself, because you wanted to gain visibility, because you wanted to work on your career and possible promotions. Now, after child, you start asking whether the project actually matters. You haven't become less ambitious. See, your priorities changed drastically. Before your child, a delayed promotion felt devastating. You heard that story, oh, now we don't have enough budget to promote you, but trust me, you are first on our list. We know how much you work. We appreciate all of your project and meetings. We are so happy to have you in our team, but at the moment we cannot promote you, but as soon as possible, trust me, you are first. Yep, but after children, missing bedtime feels devastating. So see, even your emotional system changed. Something is different. Now you value your sleep more than some sort of possible promotion sometime in the future. Before your child, you could work until midnight. Yeah? You could also have those late evening meetings, like afternoon meetings that we were talking about a video before. So you wanted to do everything because you wanted to be visible, and again, you wanted really that promotion. You wanted more skills. There is nothing bad in that. You just wanted to grow. That's fine. But now, after children, midnight, being awake at midnight means that tomorrow will be disaster. So see, your physical setup also change. We have your identity, we have your emotional state, physical state, everything is changing around you, in you. Before children, your identity might have been heavily tied to career success. Yeah? I mean, what else are you thinking about? You're thinking about your next role and holidays maybe, yeah, or wedding if you have some in plan. But now, after children, your identity suddenly includes another human being. If you gave a birth to one child, if you have triplets, then a few more. Many mothers also experience a type of grief, not because they regret becoming mothers. No, it's something else. It's because the person they used to be no longer exists in exactly the same way. And then yes, you think you will come back to that person when your children are like after their teenage years, but not really, because you will maybe then be in your menopause. So again, hormones, yeah. So yes, society doesn't really like to talk about it. You can love motherhood and still miss aspects of your previous life. So those two truths can coexist. And yes, again, our society is not talking enough about that, because we are too focused on the pregnancy and on the delivery, labor, and then somehow it stops. It stops about mother. We still do take care of children. We read books about the children, toddlers, preteens, teens, and so on. But who is taking care of us, mothers? Look what is happening with our hormones. Who is taking care of us? No one. So we have to do it. And the Materscence does not only affect work. It changes your friendships, marriage, self-image, social lives, priority, long-term goals. Many couples struggle because one partner has undergone a profound identity shift, while the other may not fully understand what is happening. So yeah, many marriages can also suffer, especially in the first year after birth, because a lot of things change that you didn't even know that they exist. So there is also something that many women, mothers, should hear. If you have returned to work after maternity leave and you are wondering why everything feels different, why your ambitions feel different, why your priorities feel different, and why your emotions feel different. It may not be because you have lost yourself. It may be because you are becoming someone new, with new priorities and with new ambitions and with new emotions. For a long time, I thought my challenge was learning how to balance motherhood and career. And then what I eventually realized was that my biggest challenge was understanding who I was becoming, because motherhood didn't just change my schedule. Yeah, it changed me. And maybe that's not something we should be fighting. Maybe it is something we should learn to understand.